Okay. Hello, Lou. How are you? I'm a little early today. Let's see. Okay, good. Okay. Hello, Lou. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm good.
You had a good Sunday?
Yeah, the good Sunday.
You have one of your children. What did you do today, Sunday?
I just relax because I go to the blood donation in the
Oh,
Friday. Yeah, so I
really?
need to take a relax.
Yeah. How do
Yeah,
you spell it? That's Dalat, right? Dalat like that? Dalat or Dalat?
Đà Lạt đó.
Yeah, Dalat
No,
City.
no. I go to the blood donation
Yeah. In what city?
in the Bình Dương province.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I live in Bình Dương.
yeah. Hey
Yeah.
Lou, what blood type are you? A, B, or O, or AB?
Oh, oh, sorry. I until now I don't know exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I go to the second time, I will know the A
Oh,
or B or C. Yeah.
yeah.
The first time I go I
Huh.
yeah.
I'm A, type A.
Oh, you are yeah.
And in Japan, many people are also A. So it's a
Oh,
good blood type to have. But
yeah.
do you know in Japan, they have this idea that your blood type is part of your personality? Do they do that in Vietnam too? They say like A people are cheerful, B people are more quiet, reserved, right?
Mm.
So, but researchers say there's nothing to this. It's just a very old-fashioned Asian idea or something like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
the blood types. Here, let me see if I can find this. I see Ellis just joined us. Hello, Ellis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Did you have a good Sunday, Miss Ellis?
Yes, it's a very good Sunday.
Really?
Yes,
What did you do?
I just stay at home.
You just stayed home. Did you study?
We do some very good activities,
Yeah.
play board games, and
All right. So you guys, this is kind of crazy. Ellis, Lou and I were talking about this blood. What blood type are you? A, B, B. And so Lou, in Japan, 40% of the people are A. So they
Oh.
say you are earnest, means like hardworking, and you're a neat person. You have a clean house, but you can also be stubborn or anxious. Okay.
Oh, anxious.
30% is easygoing, leadership ability, not sensitive to others, and unpunctual means you are not on time.
Hmm.
B, 20% of Japanese people are B. It's passion, creativity, but you can be selfish and not cooperate, right? But again, are these true? I don't know. AB, the mixed 10%, talented, composed, eccentric, which, the intelligent, crazy, and two-faced. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Two-faced. Yeah.
Sorry, teacher. Can I
Yeah.
ask you? The characteristics by on the type blood type in what
Yeah.
exactly?
It's not really a science, Lou. It's just, a modern, I think it's modern or folk. I'll put that in chat. Folk tradition. Um, it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to be real science, right? It doesn't seem to be real science, but it's
Yeah.
just, if you're meet new people in Japan and you're eating and drinking, they talk about this as table conversation, just for
Yeah.
fun. It's just for fun,
Yeah.
right? Alice, are you there?
yes, I'm here.
Alice, do you know what blood type are you?
Mm,
A, B, O, B.
Maybe B.
B, okay. So that's the blood type. All right, thanks, Alice. How about Min is here from Da Nang. How are you, Min?
I'm kind of fine.
Kind of fine. I
Also,
like that. Kind of fine.
yeah. Also, I'm a bit stressed because tomorrow is the start of my midterm exams.
Oh, okay. Exams tomorrow. And how do you feel about that? Are you anxious?
I feel okay. I only worry about pre-calculus.
Okay.
Tomorrow is about English, so it's okay because that is my like favorite subject.
Min, did you say calculus also?
Pre-calculus. I learned pre-calculus at school.
Okay, calculus for mathematics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, calculus is difficult, Min. So good luck on the exam tomorrow. And I see Kevin and Uyen have joined us. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Uyen. Kevin, how are you?
Oh,
Oh, I'm fine. How about you?
Uyen is good. Pretty good, Uyen and Kevin. I'm having a good day. I taught a group of very funny primary school students this morning for our, for the organization NCSN. And there was a funny story, Kevin. There, in the class, there are 2 secondary students, and then there are 12 primary students. One of the primary students lives in Singapore. He's a very nice boy, but he's only 10 years old, maybe. Very intelligent boy. And another student wrote a debate topic, 1 paragraph, about the problems of social media. No, I'm sorry, it was role models. Are celebrities good role models for teenagers? And the boy wrote, some celebrities engage in bad sex practices. And the poor boy from Singapore said, what's sex? And I went, oh, no, he's only 9 years old. Oh, this is terrible. I said, I think you have to ask your mother or father that question, please. Let's not talk about that. I didn't know that was going to come up in our debate topic, right?
Yeah,
It was a
very
crazy day.
interesting. Very interesting. I love working with the kids, especially with the young students,
Yeah,
because I have the 2 kids as the 10 and 8 years old.
okay.
This is either
So,
my son and my daughter.
yeah. Kevin, at
Very,
what age do they teach education for sex in Vietnam? Is it 12 years old or 13?
I'm a lecturer,
Yeah,
so my students are older.
okay. And then, okay, because in America, it's usually 11 or 12 years old. So for a boy who's 9, it was too early. I was embarrassed. I hope his mother's not angry with me, but I just put this essay on the screen and then I didn't think about it. I was just following the arguments. Some
Yeah.
celebrities have bad scandals, some use alcohol, drugs, and this was one of the bad things. So I learned things, even as a teacher, Kevin. Do you notice you learn things from your students?
There is as lot as the thing I learned from the student,
Yeah,
such as they can share some favorites, hobby like Gen G. You know,
yeah.
Gen G has lots of things so very different with my generation. Uh,
These boys in the debate class told me all about Roblox computer playing games, and we
yeah.
talked about it all summer long, and I learned why 10, 11-year-old Vietnamese boys get tired of Roblox. And they told me all the negative things of Roblox. All right. Let's see, we have Rick joined us also. Hello, Rick, how are you?
Good evening, on.
Good evening, how are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Good.
Glad to see you.
Did you have a good Sunday?
Us on way, quite busy.
Oh, quite busy. Now, is Sunday a free day in Vietnam for everybody?
I have lots of works to do,
Oh,
even
so
in
you okay. Because when I lived in Saudi Arabia 2 years ago, we had to work on Sunday because Muslim people don't follow the Christian calendar. So the 2 free days are Friday and Saturday. It was kind of strange for me. We had to work on Sunday. Yeah, all right. Now, I want to start today's class with, let's see, who is this? Someone said call, this is Tra Nguyen. Tra Nguyen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Tra, you wrote something really interesting in your work. You compared two types of writing to show a strong argument and a weak argument. And when I was reading this, I really enjoyed this because today's topic is how to write a thesis statement and compare it to a regular essay topic. So we have topic you wrote here. And then in the stronger version, you actually got closer to what is a thesis statement, which we're going to talk about in tonight's class. It's the main focus. So I thought this was really interesting, right? Tra, would you like to read this? This is really wonderful.
Okay, sure. Topic human life would be better if they live in smart cities. This argument can be considered a weak argument because this argument is broad and lacking in specifics. Although it is well found in perceived benefits of smart cities, we need to elaborate on the most significant advantage while also identifying the complexities and challenges involved, providing concrete examples and comparing the potential achievements with the possible downsides would make the argument more convincing.
Yeah, very good. And so, Tra, once you provided the complexities and challenged and explored one of the points, then it would become more of a thesis statement. And I think this is what you do in the stronger version. Would you like to read this one too?
Okay. Cities around the world are facing severe impacts from climate change as well as rapid urbanization. For example, environmental pollution, natural disasters, and population growth are exceeding the capacity of existing infrastructure. As a result, the quality of life for urban residents is seriously diminished. Current developments in science and technology can help people build smart cities to address these issues if they are carefully planned and implemented. Smart cities provide advanced infrastructure services and enhance resilience to natural disasters. Moreover, information and communication technology enables governments to manage cities more effectively and mobilize public participation in the process of building city databases. However, we must acknowledge that smart cities also present many potential risks. In particular, the disclosure of personal data poses risks to security and network safety. Additionally, unequal access to technology may lead to increased social inequality.
Yeah, very good. I really like this because, Tra, these are all hot topics in climate change, especially increased social inequality because some countries can do things to prevent the damage of climate change and other countries are too poor to do that. So that's what you actually are talking about it on a city level, but it also has an international security level to it as well. So this is excellent. Now, there were certain statements in here like this natural disaster, let's see, public participation. When you see two words like this, two vocabulary words, network safety is another one, social inequality. These are the collocations. Many of you probably know collocations. They're word combinations that are really useful in your writing and also in your communication and your English building collocations. So Google actually has a function where you can check collocations. You can see how often does this collocation, this combination of word, for example, potential risk, would, if you put potential and risk together, people use that particular combination, that collocation, maybe 70% of the time in internet written information, the word potential and risk is combined, right? So let's do this as an experiment because many of you said you wanted to increase your vocabulary level for academic writing, and many of you asked, well, how do we do this? How do we increase? So let me ask for some collocations here. I will type this in. One moment, please. For ChatGPT. One moment, I will do the share screen. So I like to ask ChatGPT questions. And let's see, Google Chrome, ChatGPT. And this was for today's work, analytical versus I got an example for you. But the thing that I'm interested in is, can you provide collocations for the word social? Let's say like social inequality. And it might go crazy. We have to be careful because it might put too many. Can you provide collocations for the word social? And then ChatGPT wrote, here are some common collocations for social. Social media, social network, social issues, social class, social justice, social change, social interaction, social responsibility, social behavior, social norms. So as you're writing your academic work, if you need substitutions, you can go to ChatGPT and say, give me some social security, social welfare, social environment. Give me some collocations that I can use. You could also ask the question of these social collocations, which ones occur the most in internet searches? Now, this is a more difficult question. You can ask Google this, but let's see what ChatGPT does for this. I want to know which ones are most famous, which ones are most popular, that you feel most comfortable using because they're used a lot. This might go crazy. Okay, so, or not bad, okay, because sometimes ChatGPT just keeps giving and giving and giving more information, right? And it gave the sources. Do you see? The sources are really important. So social media, social responsibility, social network, social justice are the most frequent used internet searches. And that came from English, Post.org, and ESL advice, right? So as you see, let me see, we have to just make sure that the sources are listed because this is an academic writing course. So, okay, let me see if I will make sure this is being recorded. Okay, so yeah, I'm the co-host, so we can recording. Okay, recording is good. So the other thing that I wanted to show you is this. I'll put this in the original notes for today. One moment, please. Okay, so I have your work for today. It's all ready. But let me ask you this question. I'll use a share screen again for this. One moment. I have too many screens up, everybody. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to ask you is about this famous test they use in Japan. Do you use TOEIC tests in Vietnam? TOEIC, T-O-E-I-C. Uyen, have you heard of TOEIC or Kevin or Ellis?
Yeah, they're actually TOEIC tests in Vietnam.
Okay, so they do use them in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay, because they're popular in Korea, Taiwan, and Japan, but I wasn't sure if they use them. And TOEIC tests are written by these professional analysts who help students pass the test with high scores. So the highest score on TOEIC test is 1,000 points. And I used to teach Japanese businessmen. They must get 750 points if they want to go to work in America for 3 years or work in another country like Thailand. They must have 750 points. So in Japan, there are hundreds of books on how to increase your TOEIC test. And one of the frequent exercises are word substitutions. These are very closely connected to the collocations. You could say they're kind of like cousins to collocations, right? Word substitutions can be very easy. A word substitution for a very basic level, you could say also equals to. So for example, Sarah wanted to go to the party. Her brother did too. Sarah wanted to go to the party. Her brother also wanted to go to the party. That's a very easy one, right? But then these substitutions become more challenging. For example, join the party or participate in the party. Participate is the more difficult word. In the party. Like join the party, participate in the party. So you see that join and participate mean the same thing, but the TOEIC test challenges to see if you know this word participate. It's sort of a 400-point level question. So my advice, the reason I bring up this TOEIC is because if you can get a TOEIC book for Vietnam, it's really good to build your word substitutions for your academic writing, because if you find words in there and you have a highlighter, like a paper version of a book, you can then begin to build your vocabulary database that really helps you in your writing. For example, you could write if you were writing an essay, you could write 3 researchers joined our team last month. They will, now if you write, they will join in the XYZ genome project. Okay, but if you notice, join and join is used twice. It doesn't sound very good because it's too repetitious. They will participate. So do you see how a nice word substitution can help you so much there? 3 researchers joined our team last month. They will participate in the XYZ genome project. So by using these substitutions that you find in TOEIC preparation books, it can really increase your vocabulary ability, because it's very structured learning in the TOEIC system. So my advice, if you can go and find a TOEIC book, by all means buy it and start studying the vocabulary especially. The vocabulary is really rich. Alice, do you study TOEIC?
No,
Do you?
no, not yet.
Okay, do you want to?
Yeah, I kind of want to try my level.
Do a lot of teenagers in Vietnam study it at like a study center?
Maybe from 15 to 15 years old.
Okay, let's ask Uyen. Uyen, are you doing TOEIC preparation? Uyen is smiling. Uyen, are you there? Okay, Uyen may be having a microphone problem. Kevin, do adults, or Rick, do adults do TOEIC?
Yes.
Mm.
TOEIC is the Albert English from university. Such as at my university, the different department they will have to the minimize of the student will to require, for example,
Mm. Okay.
as the international law, they have to the over the 600 point.
Okay.
With the advanced program, they the over the 650 point.
Okay, 650.
Uh,
Okay, so yeah. Okay,
an, another certification can exchange with the TOEIC is the IELTS. IELTS is very popular in Vietnam,
okay.
especially last 4 years
Uh,
when the university use the IELTS
uh-huh.
is the is either quality for measure the English ability of a student,
Yeah.
especially with the input at the enter the university.
Mm.
So the young student, especially at a high school, they invest a lot of money for learning IELTS.
Yeah.
So I think the IELTS test is so harder
Mm.
than TOEIC.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's Kevin, I'll put your opinion. It's good. Harder. Now, here I'll give you the word substitution, right? You know harder. more difficult, right? Very easy word substitution. But for some students in Japan who only get 300 or 400 points on TOEIC, they know difficult, right? But they don't know harder. They think hard is like a hard surface of a table. They don't know hard. So that's why these substitutions are really important to really test. Okay, so maybe next week I'll try to find a TOEIC book on Amazon.com that's English and Vietnamese side by side. I can make a recommendation because I taught TOEIC for 20 years, and basically I can do that. I could do that test if I were sleeping. It's just in my brain like a computer. It's just, and so whenever I'm walking and watching the students take the practice test, I can see the logic that the people who develop this test, exactly what they're doing. They're really catching students on the word substitution, and that has a direct connection to collocations. It's all about vocabulary building. Okay, so for tonight, thesis development. Thesis development makes me kind of nervous because I finished my master's degree about 3 years ago, and my supervisor was an international scholar, and he was very strict about my thesis development. And it was a very difficult thesis to work with because it's very, very controversial. There's a lot of academic fighting. And when I chose my thesis, I didn't know there was so much fighting. So I spent about 2 years of research just to finish a basic master's thesis because I really couldn't conclude anything about this thesis to argue it one way or the other. And I'll tell you more about that later. It's a long discussion. So our objective or our goal is to master the skill of creating clear, concise, and arguable thesis statements. Remember, if you're doing a master's degree or a college thesis, it could be that you have to argue your thesis in front of a panel of 3 experts, and they will really challenge you on the points that you make in your thesis. It's very stressful for people. Let me see, Kevin, you are a PhD, or was Rick a PhD at the university level?
Yes, I'm the PhD candidate at
Yeah.
Thomas Bata University in Berlin,
Okay.
Czech Republic. So I think this is a very important topic to me today. So I hope you give me some recommendation and good.
Absolutely, Kevin. Kevin,
Yeah.
are you going to have to argue your thesis in front of a group of experts at the university?
Yes.
And it's an oral argument. They'll ask you questions about the thesis.
This is famous, and I have no idea.
Okay.
So
Yeah. One of the universities I attended, you had to go in person, and the 3 professors ask you questions. It's based on the Oxford-Cambridge system. It's very stressful for students, but you have to do it. So that's why I ask Kevin. Rick, have you heard about this, arguing your thesis?
Yes, of course. This is very popular in Vietnam. For just the master thesis, you have 5 people in the committee, and
Wow.
for the PhD candidates, you have 3 rounds. This means there are at least 3 committees,
Yeah.
and two outside defender. This means there will be an expert from the other school, other university, or even in the business sector
Yeah.
will analyze your thesis.
Yeah, that's
And
what
give
I had an outside person analyze. I was very nervous about the whole
outside
thing.
expert. Yeah.
It's very stressful, very stressful.
Yes.
Okay, so here are the characteristics, the topics. I'll tell you what, Rick, can you read these 3 points here, the topics?
Okay. Characteristics of a strong thesis statement. Differentiating between topics and thesis. Placing the thesis in an introduction.
Yeah, an introduction. All right. So we're ready to begin. Let me start with the first thing. To start with, let us examine the difference between a mere. I love using that word. Mere means just
Only.
Yeah, only. And a thesis. Well, the two elements in academic writing are closely connected. There are some noticeable differences. So let's see, this one I want to give a student. Lou, would you like to read this part here?
Yes.
Okay.
For review, a topic is a general subject or area of interest that your essay or paper will explore. It is usually broad or it provides the basis or context of your writing. We worked on topics in our second class last week, so all of us are familiar with how to address a topic in your academic essay. The purpose of a topic is to set the foundation for entire paper or by identifying what you will be writing about. But it does immediately indicate your specific argument or stance.
Yeah.
The argument developed using the following paragraph of your paper. In a sense, idea, view, and this create an interesting integrated essay. This is possibly why students enjoy writing essay because they can creatively build on ideas as they reflect on the topic and they can add many of their own opinions.
Yeah, so especially the primary students, they love to write topics. Let me show you an example of this topic. This boy included a picture in his homework for this week. I'll keep his name secret. He's in another writing class. And so he was concerned about animal testing at this early stage. He's only 10 or 11 years old. It's easy to mix the topic for an essay with a thesis statement. So this boy wrote about 5 sentences, but he began to put a strong opinion right away. So in a way, he was writing a thesis statement. I was impressed, but he's kind of mixing the two things because he's so young, he doesn't know. So mixing. Let's see. Hey, who would like to read this? Alice, would you like to read this? We'll keep the student's name a mystery, but I think you know this boy. Alice, would you like to read it?
Today, I will talk about animal testing. What is animal testing? Animal testing is like when people capture the animals and test them. Look at this picture. The picture says that this is a testing place. It is showing us that the hamster is captured for some type of experimenting.
Yeah.
All of the hamsters will eventually die when the experiment is over. So there will be no more animal to test. Many animals around the world will die from these experiments. So I must declare that no more animal testing is the best policy.
Yeah, it's a very good essay for a 10-year-old boy in Vietnam. I think it's really good. But you notice he puts a really strong opinion here. So in a thesis statement, that would be more formal as to this thesis argues against the use of animals in testing human medicines and cosmetics, makeup. That would be the more adult style for the thesis, right? But for a 10-year-old boy to write, so I must declare that no more testing is the best policy. But what I do like about his one paragraph topic is that he does build to this strong statement, so he knows what he's doing. But I would say this is just a very good topic statement that kind of mixes in an academic thesis at the end of it, which was surprising. I thought that was wonderful. Again, they're only 10-year-old boy, so I'm not going to get too upset that he does that, right? Okay, let's find another one here. I want to call on some new students. Vi, are you there? Hello, Vi.
Yes, I'm
How are
here.
you today?
Yeah,
Hi.
great.
Good to hear it. Can you read this one here?
Yeah, okay. A thesis statement is more specific. It is a concise declaration that presents the main argument or claims of your paper on the very beginning. The topic is narrowed down, meaning it is not too general. In the thesis statement, the writer outlines their stance or perspective on a subject. Basically, a short of grammar or intrigue
Intrigue.
intrigue
Yeah.
of a short essays with a goal solid. Topic is removed when the social sciences or natural sciences thesis statement is presented.
Mm.
A thesis statement also guides the anti-essays by expressing your central argument because it tells right from the start exactly what your own position is and how you will support it throughout the paper. Let us compare a topic sentence with a thesis statement.
Very good, Vi. Okay. So let's see. We have Bao Quan Tron. Are you there, Tron? And that is
Yes, I'm here.
the Vietnamese name for Elvin. Elvin, how are you?
Okay.
You're okay. Do you have a busy school day tomorrow, Elvin?
No, not quite.
Not really. Do you have tests coming, Elvin?
Like next week, not
Next week.
this week.
Okay. So you're a little relaxed. Elvin, can you read the blue here, please?
Okay. A topic might start with the benefits of a drawbacks of online education will be explored in the following essay. By contrast, a thesis statement may be written in this manner.
Mm.
While early education provides flexibility and accessibility, it lacks the interactive dynamics of in-person learning, which can negatively impact student engagement and collaboration. With this thesis, current literature on focusing on the drawbacks of online learning will be examined in a qualitative analysis based on surveys conducted with a sample pool of students currently enrolled in online courses.
Yeah. So from the beginning, I noted it's going to be a qualitative analysis using statistics data to see what students think of their online courses, and the researcher provides the questions. The questions are usually checked by your academic supervisor, the expert in the field. And he says, these are good questions, but you could improve them by asking this, this, and this. And then you agree upon it and you start your research by asking students what they think of online education. Now, if you notice that this is a thesis statement here, this is why I chose at the beginning of class, I chose this sample from the homework, which was really good. One more time, it was Tra. Let's look back again at Tra's work because she did the stronger version. Let me quickly read this. She wrote, cities around the world are facing severe impacts from climate change as well as rapid urbanization. For example, environmental pollution, natural disasters, and population growth are exceeding the capacity of existing infrastructure. As a result, the quality of life for urban residents is seriously diminished. Current developments in science and technology can help people build smart cities to address these issues if they are carefully planned and implemented. Smart cities provide advanced infrastructure services and enhance resilience to natural disasters. Moreover, information and communication technology, ICT, enables governments to manage cities more effectively and mobilize public participation in the process of building city databases. However, we must acknowledge that smart cities also present many potential risks. In particular, the disclosure of personal data poses risks to security and network safety. Additionally, unequal access to technology may lead to increased social inequality. Now, for this one, you could then start your thesis here. You could say, this paper will examine, let's see, what should we have? 3 different topics there that we could use. How governments are managing cities more efficiently and mobilizing, I'm repeating, you see, public participation, in the process of building city databases. Building while let's say if you're on a research team, Tra, while we acknowledge the, let's say, discernible, my spelling sometimes is not good. Okay, discernible, positive contributions, building city databases, let's see, the discernible person, have made. We argue that there is room for improvement in the systems currently being used. I'd say being formulated, they're in the process. Okay, so for an academic paper, you would want to state your position right away. So this is why I added this to Tra's thing. She states clearly what the paper is going to do. She says, this paper will examine how governments are managing cities more efficiently and mobilizing public participation in the process of building city databases. While we acknowledge the discernible, means recognizable, positive contributions building city databases have made, we argue that there is room for improvement in the systems currently being formulated. I mean, that clearly shows what you're going to discuss. So this is going to be a critical essay, a critical thesis of city databases. And that's probably the best I can do to show you how that would work. But it's an excellent example. So thank you again to Tra for sharing that with us today. It was much appreciated, Tra. Nice work on that. Okay, and so I want to go back to the class for tonight. Let's see, I want to go to this one. Kevin, can you read this one? Because you're in the process of doing the thesis, so I wanted to give you this. It's a little bit long, but this gives you good, good things to look out for when you do your thesis. Would you like to read this one? Oh, I'm sorry, not this one here. I want you to read here to here.
Yes.
Okay.
Now let me start.
Yeah.
Here are the main points we have already covered up the full scope. A topic for an essay is first in general, while a thesis statement is very specific. A thesis statement focuses on one main idea or argument within a topic. Function. A topic provides the subject matter, but a thesis statement explains what you are going to say about that subject. Argument. A topic does not take a stand or present argument. A thesis statement clearly expresses the writer's argument or claim. This point is interesting because younger writers become very passionate about the animal testing and they build argumentation into their topics. This is fine at such an early stage before the distinction is made between the topics that is being discussed and definitive thesis statement is made. Example below.
Yeah.
Guidance. A thesis statement shows us a map for the paper. It indicates the directions of one's arguments, while the topic summary defines the area one is writing about.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
this is
that's all.
cool. Yeah, very good. Thanks, Kevin. Now, if you're a younger student, you say, well, what is this thesis statement? It explains exactly what you're going to say about the topic. So if you were writing, you know, on a secondary level, ages 12, 13, 14, you know, you could almost say, here's what I am going to talk about. Here is what I am going to discuss. And I support the idea that Vin, how do you spell this? Vin Wonders is a great amusement park system because the company does try to present some traditional elements of Vietnamese culture to international travelers and younger generations. Okay, so this argues why Vin Wonders, all the kids love Vin Wonders, I guess. The children keep talking about it. I shouldn't say children, but you know, they're 11, 12 years old. They love Vin Wonders. So this would be sort of a secondary school. Here's what I am going to discuss, and I support the idea that Vin Wonders is a great amusement park system because the company does try to present some traditional elements of Vietnamese culture to international travelers and younger generations. Very good for secondary, but I wouldn't use that for adult thesis writing at the university level or even the last year of secondary school. You would want to be more sophisticated than that, you know. I would definitely not use this. All right. I would take that out because it's too casual. And what is better is I support the idea. This would probably be pretty good for a secondary thesis statement. If a private school, international school requires a thesis statement, a student could use that comfortably there. Okay. So I want to scroll down to here, the argumentative essay versus the analytical essay. It's the last topic I want to cover because I want you to try to write in the chat in about 5 minutes time. If you can write a 2 or 3 sentence thesis statement on anything you want, you know, it can be a fun topic, it can be a serious topic, just to try to do a proper thesis statement that is in the argumentative style or the analytical style. So let's see, Uyen, did you get your microphone to work? Is your microphone okay, Uyen?
Yes.
Hey, Uyen, nice to hear from you. Uyen, can you read what the argumentative essay says?
Okay. Example 1, argumentative essay topic: should college education be free for all students? Thesis statement: why free college education could increase access to higher education and reduce student debt. It is not a sustainable solution for the long term, as it places an undue financial burden on the government and may devalue the quality of education by overburdening
Institutions. Okay, yeah, you got it. Institutions, yeah. Overburdening means putting too much financial pressure on institutions to help students with free education. By the way, this topic, should college education be free for all students? This is always on the IELTS examination for writing. And so this is where I got this topic from. They're always using this in IELTS. So there's a big hint to you if you're going to take the IELTS. Be prepared to answer a question, should college education be free for all students? All right. Now, the next one is an analytical essay. And let's see if there's a student that I didn't get a chance to give a speaking chance to. How about Min Trong? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So
How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Can you read this one called the analytical essay?
Yes. Analytical essay topic: the impact of a social media on mental health. Has a statement: social media has revolutionized communication and provided platforms for global interaction, but its pervasive use has also led to increased levels of anxiety, depression, and loneliness among young adults. As it fosters unhealthy comparisons, disrupts sleep patterns, and reduce face-to-face interactions.
Yeah, very nice. This word pervasive, again, it's one of those higher level words. It means everywhere. It's everywhere. Now, if you had pervasive, you could also use this one. Latin word, omnipresent. I love vocabulary because teaching all the possibilities is so much fun. So you could say, but it's omnipresence. You could change this to it's omnipresence. Now I'm going to change back omnipresent use. So you could say it's pervasive use or it's omnipresent use. Omnipresent is a fun one. It's a Latin word. It means everywhere. Okay. So I wrote that this is the homework. It's a long possible thesis statement. What I did was I took this topic here and I wanted to show you how it could be longer. So let me read this. But for tonight's in-class exercise coming in about 1 minute, we'll just do a short style. Maybe we'll do long style for the homework. So I wrote, in many developed nations in Europe, Asia, and the Americas, students and their families are being impacted by a precipitous, means strong, noticeable rise in the cost of post-secondary or collegiate education. Proponents of offering a solution suggest universal free education is the best way to address unaffordable tuition costs at all levels of universities, from state or national schools to prestigious private universities. Those opposed to governments providing the bulk of funding for tuition-free education argue the following point. While free college education could increase access to higher education and reduce student debt, it is not a sustainable solution for the long term, as it places an undue financial burden on the government and may devalue the quality of education by overburdening institutions. This paper will assess the pros and cons of providing free tuition for college students, as it argues for a shared responsibility on the parts of individuals and governments to fund university education. That would be a beautiful thesis to work on. I'm not sure if it would be master's thesis or a thesis during your master's program, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good because I did the first half. Okay, so what can I tell you? Can you try in the chat now for the next 15 minutes to just write 2 or 3 lines in a possible thesis statement? Let me go down here to write that for you. So the assignment in class, we can try this together in class, is to, can you write only 2 or 3 sentences on a possible thesis statement? It can be anything. Serious or even creative, fun. Okay. All right. So in the chat, can you use your chat here? I see the chat. And we have this here to everybody. And so in the chat, can you write a thesis statement? Anything you like. So for example, I wrote, okay. So I did amusement parks again as a possible thesis because in our class in spring, I think, Vi, you remember, we had some students who helped design golf courses and things like that. So I began to research amusement parks in Vietnam because the children really loved this as a topic. And so I was surprised that places like Bim Wonders introduce traditional Vietnamese culture. And another student said she learned summer swimming courses at one of these amusement parks because it had access to the seacoast. So I chose that as a possible, it's only 2 sentences in the chat there, if everybody sees it. Can you add more to the chats? A possible thesis statement, something very simple. I'll try a critical one for you. Okay, let's see. We have this from P, and that is Fam. Would you like to read it for everybody? You could do it for everyone if you want, Fam. Is it okay to share this with everyone, Fam? Okay, so here's Fam. Fam, let's call this a from our two styles of writing. Do you remember? I'll scroll back. We have analytical or argumentative. Okay, thanks, Fam. She said her microphone's not working, so I'll read this for you. Fam provided an argumentative essay or thesis statement. And so here it is from Fam. Sorry about that. I made a mistake. There's a glitch in the Zoom that when I try to paste in from the chat into another chat, it knocks me out of the Zoom meeting, and I don't know why that is. I'm sorry about that. Let me just go back to these notes then, and I'll put this in here, and I think it should be okay. I'm hoping it's okay because I copied what Fam wrote because she addressed it to only me. Let me see. It's going to be nice. Yay. Okay. This is what Fam wrote, everybody. Sorry, I got knocked out of Zoom. If that happens, I try to come back in 1 minute because it's happened so often, right? So the topic, should company executives be awarded with higher salary in comparison to lower tier employees? Thesis statement, although I agree to a redesign of pay schemes in some situations, I believe they are entitled to sizable payouts for both tangible and intangible values they can contribute to a firm. So this is an excellent thesis. It's really good for finance. This is a really good finance one. I'm happy Fam included this one. What this issue is that in America, the CEO executive salaries have become so high in the last 50 years or 45 years. And so now they show the ratio of a CEO salary versus a basic worker is something like 275 times more than one worker. And that number used to be like 20 times more. So it's just unbelievably high. And that's not including all the benefits like bonuses and severance pay packages. So what Fam, in her argumentative thing, she says, the CEO contributes so much tangible and intangible value to the company. For example, Elon Musk, while I don't like his politics, he's basically the vision behind like 5 major advancements in human technology, including Starlink and SpaceX, which the American government is very dependent on. So this is a pretty good. Let me ask Rick. Rick, what do you think of this as a thesis statement? Impressive.
Okay, let's see. Let me have a look. Also, I agree to redesign a pay scheme in some situations. I believe they are entitled to sizable payouts for both tangible and intangible values that can contribute to our firms. Okay. From my perspective, I do not agree with the current situation in British or in US. Because the distance, the variable between the CEO and all the levels of workers is too big. Um, a CEO, even they are the best of the best, they can do things alone.
Nice.
A company means the teamwork with the efforts of a lot of people. And
Nice.
I totally do not agree that you pay for the CEO too much
Yeah.
than the other people.
So Rick, I agree with that too, to tell you the truth. But in terms of Fawn presenting the argument, do you think she does a good work here with this presentation?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I
I think
agree
so.
that.
Yeah, it's really strong. So Fawn, it's good, even though your mic isn't working. It's a really good statement. Whether we disagree or not, that's not quite the point, but it's really well written. All right, let's go to the chat. I see some more examples now. I have to be really careful with these chats because I hate it when Zoom knocks me out of the big picture. It's just embarrassing as a teacher. The teacher disappeared. One time I heard the students talking, and these young kids are like, "Do you think he'll come back? Do you think he went to the toilet?" No, I'm here. I love you guys. Don't go away. All right. This is from Ellis. Ellis, would you like to read you wrote topic and thesis? Very nice, Ellis. You're following what we're doing in class. Excellent work, Ellis. Would you like to read it?
Topic: should junk food be banned? Thesis statement: despite its colorful shape and funny taste, all junk foods such as candies and lollipops contains many kinds of artificial sugar that can lead to diabetes and kidney problems.
Wonderful, Ellis. You got the pronunciation of diabetes, high blood sugar. You got it right. So many students call it diabetes, right? You got it. Nice work, Ellis. You remembered. Ellis, I changed this to the it style with the possessive pronoun its. Despite its colorful shape and funny taste, all junk food such as candies and lollipops contain many kinds. Ellis, would you like to make a statement like in debate class against this? You could say this thesis will argue. What will you argue against, Ellis?
Maybe the junk food can help children relax sometimes, and they used to.
Ellis, do you like this part that I added?
Yes.
Can you read that? All right, go ahead, read this thesis.
This thesis will argue against the pervasive use of junk food as means of relaxing children or giving it as a reward.
Nice, Ellis. And do you see teacher made you use pervasive again? Because when I come across a difficult vocabulary word, I'm going to use it again and again and again in a fun way so you guys remember it. Pervasive, it's everywhere is what that means, right? Nice, 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 Ellis. I'm going to go back to chat because there are some wonderful examples here. Ellis, you wrote two, so I'll just do another one here. Oh, wow, you really did a lot. Hey, Tintin, you're here. How are you, Tintin?
I'm fine.
Okay, everybody, you know that Tintin lives in Germany. I love telling people that because I think it's kind of exciting. You're growing up in Germany. That's kind of a unique opportunity, Tintin. And sometimes Tintin and I speak German. Tintin, can you read it? Go ahead.
Topic: should humans stop fishing? Thesis: overfishing can drastically change ecosystems and ruin food chains, but we humans are in constant need of food because of the growth of the population. Therefore, the amount of fishes are fished are always increasing.
Yeah.
I wanted to write which are fished.
Do you know what? You spelled it the German, the German plural of fish, right? Is it this fische?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in English, it's just fish. It's one of those strange things, right? But that's fine. The amount of fish are, the amount of fish being, let's use this one. Cold. Cold means harvesting for animals. Culling means collecting them for humans to eat. Culling, it basically means killing. It's related to the word killing. Collected and killing, not a nice word, but that works better. Cold. Okay, good work, Tintin, you got it. Let's see what else we have here. I'm gonna go through the chats because you're doing a nice job. Vi, let's see what you have. Okay, topic and thesis. Nice work. Everyone's doing both a very basic topic and then making it the more challenging thesis, which is our big goal for today. Vi, would you like to read it? Is V there? Oh, hey, the microphone. I don't have the
Yes.
ability. Okay, there you are, Vi.
Do children have you can you hear
Yeah,
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Children have a, what do you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Children have a, what do we say? A wholesome means, I'm going to change it just a little bit by the old style childhood where
Yeah.
there are more experiences, wholesome, enriched childhood. Okay, and the thesis?
The thesis children have to learn too much unnecessary knowledge and lose their time.
Yeah, nice. And so then I would follow this perhaps, Vi, with the emphasis on acquiring a large number of specialized skills could have repercussions. Repercussions. Am I spelling you guys? Repercussions on a child's full emotional development. So that would be a really nice one, Vi. The emphasis on acquiring a large number of specialized skills could have repercussions on a child's full emotional development. Wonderful thesis there. Okay, and then we could even do this, Vi. You could write this thesis argues. There you go. This thesis argues the emphasis on acquiring could have repercussions on a child's full emotional development. Very nice. Alice put a joke in here from last summer, everybody. The students had this great war about cheesecakes. They love cheesecakes. So Alice, I forgot all about the great cheesecake discussions. I didn't know children and teenagers in Vietnam love cheesecake. Is this true? Kevin, are the Vietnamese people eating a lot of pizza and cheesecake? Let's ask Kevin. Kevin, you're in
I'm
the
here.
Czech Republic, so are adults eating a lot of cheesecake and pizza, like cheese food items in Vietnam?
Several years ago, children like candy and some foods uh, with the approach uh, the new foods they love to the fast foods like cheesecake, pizza,
Yes.
or uh, fry fry and something like that. Yeah.
So I put this in the chat, Vi, this could almost be like a financial paper where you look at the Vietnam is becoming a more affluent, no longer a developing nation, but actually a wealthy nation eventually. So you can actually look at children eating cheesecake in restaurants with their families. It's a very high level, form of eating, right? So you could do a financial analysis of that with data, would be an interesting thesis statement, right? Who did this one here? I have Rick. I want to definitely do Rick's before we go. And we had Uyen. You also did yours here. So I'm going to copy as many of these as I can. And then I always make teacher's notes, especially for this topic. It's difficult. So I'm going to copy this for you and put it in the Zalo. So this is from Uyen. And then I'm going to finish off tonight with Rick's here, because this is very interesting. This is just like great general information, Rick, that is very useful for our students. So, Rick, would you like to read it if I paste it in here? There we go. Okay.
Okay. I just want to to, to provide some information about TOEIC.
Okay.
I see. Yeah, I say TOEIC test is good if the test includes the full four skill. Most of the students I know, they just finished the two skill, and I think that the English proficiency is not enough for them for work
Okay.
to further development. So I propose that it should all use the IELTS test, or we should come back to the stage of 20 years ago, where Vietnamese system has an internal system we call the certificate of English ABC, the level A or level B or level C.
Yeah.
It's very popular 20 years ago, and I think that system is good rather than a lot of outside English tests as the current situation.
So what do you think, Rick? I put a thesis statement in there for you. This thesis, I have to write thesis, this thesis. What do you think? Would you like that, as a strong thing in your paper? It's up
Okay.
to you. Yeah,
I agree.
it works pretty well. All right. So yeah, that's a wonderful statement. Okay, so we're pretty much doing the homework in class, which is impressive. I always like that you guys get working on your homework and it ends up in chat. That's perfectly fine with me. So if you want homework, if you want to write one more thesis, you could try it a little bit of the longer style. For the younger students, their mothers and fathers say, you must do homework. For the adult students, they say, well, I like the challenge, but we already did enough work in class. I leave it up to you. But for Ellis and maybe Tintin and Ruyoko and others, Ellis, would you like to try the homework where it's a little bit longer, where you take this? Do you see this one here, Ellis? It's a little bit longer.
Oh, it's very long.
Okay, do you want to do the shorter style?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll leave it up to you. Your decision, okay? All right. So I'll leave that all in there. And finally, we have Min Chang, and she wrote, will AI be a teacher in the future? And I'm going to make sure that I pasted hers in here. Yeah, there it is. AI can help students to learn foreign languages and do their homework. They also use AI to translate languages and make their presentations. Moreover, so we're going to change that to moreover, small type there. Moreover, AI can correct students' mistakes in their essays. Yeah, very good. Okay, so you could write our research team will offer quantitative are always the more difficult ones. Okay, to argue. Something like this would be good, Min. Okay. Remember, we always want that strong finish. What you're going to do with your research is your definitive thesis statement. Let's go back to Kevin as we finish our class. Kevin, do you think some of these ideas helped you in your work for the Czech University?
Yeah, I think absolutely AI will help me a lot.
It's a lot. So yeah, it's good to take a look at the PDF or Word if you have some time to review. Please keep these files and you can quickly just go down a checklist and say, am I covering this, adequately? It's good to have a checklist like this. Okay, everybody, any questions before we go? I want to say thank you. Yes, Miss Lou.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You're welcome, Lou. Have a great Sunday and a good Monday. Tomorrow's Monday, so have a great Monday, everybody. Yeah. As good as Monday can be. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Alice. Bye-bye, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick, for your help.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night to
Nice
all.
work. Really nice work. Excellent work. Bye-bye. Take care, Tintin. Take care, Ruyoko. Sorry.